Artificial intelligence is often discussed as a virtual concept, but it exists as a massive, sprawling physical infrastructure. It is built on specialized hardware, requiring vast server farms to sustain its computing power. This physical layer is becoming increasingly dense. Google's latest TPU 8i chips carry 384 megabytes of on-chip memory, specifically designed to process enormous models with almost zero latency. However, this hardware runs on legacy software environments that are inherently fragile. These systems contain zero-day vulnerabilities, hidden security flaws that remain invisible to even the most experienced human engineering teams. To address this, Anthropic deployed Project Glasswing. Using a model called Claude Mythos Preview, they began an autonomous audit of the codebases that power the modern internet. This map tracks the AI's scan, identifying thousands of vulnerabilities across every major operating system. Deep within the OpenBSD codebase, the AI found a critical bug that survived undetected for 27 years, completely missed by human experts. Managing a sweep of this scale required a global coalition. Anthropic coordinated with a group of industry partners, including AWS, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Cisco, and NVIDIA, to patch these flaws simultaneously. AI has reached a capability threshold where it can independently scan, identify, and coordinate the repair of global software vulnerabilities before a human team even detects a threat. As AI becomes essential infrastructure, control over these models is being consolidated by a small group of global powers and megacorporations. Google recently moved to secure its position in this hierarchy by announcing a $40 billion investment in Anthropic, the company founded by Dario Amodei and the primary competitor to OpenAI. The deal includes an immediate $10 billion cash injection and a long-term agreement that locks Anthropic's models into Google's specialized TPU computing hardware. While Western firms consolidate through investment, other governments are using direct intervention. China recently ordered Meta to unwind its $2 billion acquisition of Manus, a startup that builds advanced autonomous agents. This level of state intervention suggests that governments now view AI startups as critical sovereign assets, similar to how they regulate defense or semiconductor manufacturing. The intensity of this competition is driven by the fact that these models are now capable of executing complex creative and technical tasks in parallel. OpenAI's ChatGPT Images 2.0 demonstrates this shift. It is a thinking model that plans its work, searches the web for visual references, and self-checks its own resolution before showing a user the final output. A similar level of autonomy is arriving in software engineering through tools like Cursor 3 and Microsoft's Visual Studio 2026. These platforms use parallel agents and automated debuggers. They can run multiple coding tasks at once and automatically fix failing unit tests without waiting for human input. Anthropic's Claude Design takes this further by combining visual design and logic. It can transform text or raw screenshots directly into finished, interactive prototypes. AI has transitioned into an active architect. These systems now manage the entire lifecycle of digital creation, from the initial logic to the final user interface. In response to this consolidation of power, emerging markets are building sovereign AI ecosystems. India is moving to reduce dependence on foreign technology providers. An Inc. 42 report projects India's AI market will reach $126 billion by 2030, a $1.7 trillion GDP impact. Locally, the NASSCOM Foundry's AI startup cohort expects to grow recurring revenue 9-fold in 2 years. To sustain growth, India is launching its own large language models. Sarvam AI recently unveiled its state-backed Sarvam 30B and 105B models. These models are trained specifically on Indian languages. This ensures the system's foundational logic is optimized for local data and cultural contexts, rather than relying on translated Western models. The success of this approach is forcing global players to adapt. Systems like ChatGPT Images 2.0 now include native rendering for Hindi and Bengali to stay relevant in the Indian market. By controlling foundational models for their own languages, these nations secure a level of technical autonomy previously unavailable to developing economies.